Okay, everybody, it's 8:30, just beyond. I'm gonna call. The gavel.
Somebody stole our gavel.
See if it's inside there.
All right, I can go like that.
Here.
Okay, we're gonna call this joint meeting of the, of two committees, the Budget Committee and the Nonprofit Committee, which also includes Economic Development, Tourism, and so forth. That committee meeting is gonna go first, but before we start, David, lead us off with a prayer and we'll do the prayer.
All right. Heavenly Father, we're grateful today to live in Lawrence County. We're grateful today to have the opportunity to consider the work, God, you called us to do in this room as leaders in this community. We ask you for wisdom. We ask you for guidance. We ask you, God, for your will to be done among us today. And Lord, let us help the nonprofits in this community, God, that are helping people. Let us be able to appropriate the tax dollars, God, of our citizens in a way, Lord, that is used honorably and to its best. We just ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. It's the flag. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Future reference, we have a real flag in here now, but Tim, thank you for what you did for putting that on the wall for all the time. Yeah, appreciate it.
Now, them's not the ones I did.
Is that not the
The
one?
Summertown School did they.
Okay, all right, thanks. Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so let's kick off with the consideration of the nonprofit charitable organization request. Thank you, Brandy, for preparing us a summary of the various requests, and each of you have a breakdown, or at least the application. And so, Brandy, before we start, I'm assuming that each of the nonprofits or charitable organizations that you've included in this packet met the requirements that the county has for applying for.
If they did not, there's a few, and I can't list off which ones, that did not provide everything, but if they don't, I won't release that money until they do.
Okay, all right. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna go down the list. And well, first of all, I guess I need to announce for the benefit of the public record, who all is here today from our committee, and I look around the room, we have 100% attendance from both committees. On the Budget Committee, there's the chairman, our county executive, David Morgan, and the vice chair, Scott Franks, and Travis Caldwell's, Philip Heatherly, and Barry Luffman. On the Nonprofit Committee, I'm Chairman Randy Brewer, Vice Chairs Rick Skillington, Shane Eaton, John Bradley, and Chris Sutherland round out the members of the Nonprofit Committee. Now, I can't possibly introduce everybody that's here representing the various nonprofits. So what we're going to do, we're going to go down the list, and as your nonprofit comes up, if you have anything to say to the committee or any support you want to make for your nonprofit budget request, we'll give you the floor, and you just introduce yourself and tell us what you intend to do with the money or so forth. And I want to remind everybody that the decision of this nonprofit committee is not final. Whether you're approved or not approved, the final decision is going to go to the Budget Committee. Immediately after we adjourn this committee meeting, the Budget Committee will take this up in any manner they choose. So let's get started. First on the list is Lawrence County Fire and Rescue, and you can see on the summary that Randy has provided what they requested, going back to fiscal year 23-24, what they received then, 24 and 25, what they received then, and then in 25 and 26, what they received, and now what they're asking for in fiscal year 26-27. It looks like Mr. Tyra McDowell is here to talk about it.
There's a typo right there.
Okay.
That amount should be $1,489,553.
$1,489,553.
Yes.
Okay. Tyler, you got the floor.
Yes, sir. My name's Tyler McDowell. I'm the Director of Lawrence County Fire Rescue. We operate 15 stations, have about 55 apparatus and 140 current volunteers. We responded to a little over 2,400 calls for service last year. We were just totaling up a new month. Here, we're just totaling that up. We ran 560 calls in the last 60 days. Not including the several calls from a tornado. So we kind of that's one call, but I know everybody's got a lot to do. We've made some increased requests in some line items. One of them was in our part-time staffing. The majority of the other things in here are just items that have increased technology-wise as far as CAD links for reporting systems, for our secondary radio notification systems, several items such as that. I'll be glad to answer any questions on any of this, but like I said, I just want to try to keep it short and sweet. We had some capital requests that we, for a vehicle and some station improvements, but I know there's a lot of people that need stuff and not a lot to go around, so just want to, I'll be glad to answer any questions you have.
Remind the committee, excuse me, Phil, remind the committee of what happened with your appropriation that dropped dramatically. I think we helped fund your organization
Okay, so
in another way.
A couple of years, are you talking about 2 years back on that?
I think
That was when the appropriation to pay off the training facility was.
Okay.
So
Okay.
that's gonna be the difference.
So one of your line items that you're talking about increasing was on the staffing, correct?
Mhm.
So talk a little bit about how much quicker that is made response time that I've heard so much about from staff.
So during the day, Monday through Friday, from 8 to 4, we are staffing, and we started out with 3 people, and the departments threw together and brought that up to 5. So we have the Leon Fire Station has 2 personnel at it. We have 1 at the training center station where we originally started, and 2 at the Etheridge station. So the reason we moved everybody out was to cut our response times down. We had about an 8-mile gap coming from the middle of town getting into the county. So instead of seeing 15 to 20-minute response times, out the door response times, we're seeing less than a minute and a half through those hours. So honestly, that cuts down your time on the scene. NFPA, which we don't always get to go by what their recommendations are, but on a house fire, their requirement is 12 people on the scene within 5 to 7 minutes. We're still not meeting that all the time, but we are sometimes. Most importantly, without the numbers, we're making a difference, saving some lives. We've had, unfortunately, we've had 2 fire fatalities this year already. One of those was in the nighttime hours, the other one was at 4 o'clock in the morning. We're still writing grants. We're actually working on one now for 24-hour coverage, staffing to make sure somebody is there at the station. The guys during the middle of the day have been able to help do fire hydrant maintenance that we've not been able to do in the past. They're helping with our fire alarm or smoke alarm program. We have a smoke alarm program through the state of Tennessee where we can give you free smoke alarms, and now carbon monoxide detectors. The only deal is we have to come install them. That's the state's requirement. So we've put up about 600 of those over the last year, free, getting them in the community. No doubt the smoke alarms save lives, so if we can't staff it 24/7 during the day, we're trying to use that time to get that out there. We've reached out to the school system and tried to get into the school system, do some public education. It's kind of hard to do. We haven't got to do a lot of those, but that's our plan going forward, is to increase that.
Tyler, how many people do you have now that are running during the day, and how many you want to increase it to?
So we have 5. I want to increase it to 6, and return part of that money back to their budgets. So, any other questions?
Okay. Go, Randy.
Can I explain the difference in these amounts across the top of this
Please
page?
do.
Yeah, please.
So what we've been doing is we put the 412.5 in the budget every year. And the difference at the end of the year, we'll take our extra interest income and give them half of what they're requesting for the next year. And we can do that again this year. If you guys would like to do that, you'll just have to make a motion to do however you wanna pay it out.
Okay.
And one last thing, a new fire truck is anywhere from $750 to $1.2 million right now, if you don't get crazy. A lot of ours are older, but we're spending more money keeping them up to par. We're trying to refurb them. We've also purchased some smaller vehicles for two different reasons: to get our people across the county during the day a lot quicker than the 60-mile-an-hour fire truck, and also keep the wear and tear down. You can buy some smaller vehicles for $245, $247. Like we got a quote on one the other day, $275, about the price of an ambulance. But we're trying to keep our miles and hours down on our larger fire engines that cost more to operate. They cost about $12.50 a mile to operate, where these smaller ones are about $4.50 to $6 a mile. So, you know, over time, we're gonna have to replace some stuff. We didn't ask for any of that in the budget except for one small vehicle replacement, and it's just a portion of the money, and that was in a capital request. But anyway, I just want to let you know we're trying to be the best stewards of what we got, because I know everybody needs to know.
Mr. McDowell, can you tell us about EMR calls and how many emergency medical response calls are made by your?
That's gonna be a large majority of it. That and so I would say more than half, or right at half would probably be medical calls. Which we're closer to the station, we're more spread out. We got 15 locations. Not every station does that, but I think 9 of our stations now do the EMR program. So in the more rural settings, we're getting to the calls quicker and able to provide life-saving care, such as cardiac defibrillation, CPR, oxygen administration, and bleeding control for major trauma. West End at a wreck yesterday actually hit me up about trying to join in on that. And we really want to get them further out. That's the ones further out from the city are the ones that we benefit from, because our ambulances are coming from Ethiopia, Lawrenceburg, and Loretto. So we're doing quite a bit of that, and that equipment's expensive too. So
You're oftentimes there before the ambulance is able to get there,
a
right?
whole lot of times. But again, it depends on time of day. You think about it when I'm sure everybody in here's got children. You go to pick your kids up at school, you know how much longer that traffic takes. Well, our guys, without this day crew, they've got to drive through that to get there. So it's really putting them behind, and we're not covering the 7 to 8 o'clock rush. We're doing 8 to 4 right now. Our hope is to move one of the stations staggered to cover more time.
Randy, I got a question. So you said we do the 412-500, and then you do half of what they requested extra? Is that what you're saying?
That's about what we've done those in 23, 24, 24, 25. They had requested the $1 million, and we gave them a portion of it in the previous year out of excess interest.
I have one thing I'd like to interject in that. What happens whenever your interest is not realized?
That's
Whenever
why
we
that
don't
whole
realize.
amount.
I'm with you, and that's why I'm happy that it's on here. But that's the thing that's worried me since we started doing that. I think that what we're talking about here is lives in the county. We have a lot of amazing charitable organizations in our county. I help some that's on here myself. This one is a service that our citizens expect that we take care of. I would rather see that on the front end than whenever we realize extra interest, because if we don't realize that extra interest, then they wouldn't be funded.
Let me add to that, yeah, let me add to that. So, Randy, correct me if I'm wrong on this. As far as at the end of the year, there's more revenue than just extra income on the investment money. There's savings in our budget, am I correct?
That's correct.
And that's where some of that can be appropriated from as well, right? So
Yes.
we spend about 91% of what we budget in Lawrence County. So, but again, I'm with you, Phil. I agree. I think it needs to be a front end thing as soon as we can possibly make that happen.
If I know that it's savings, why are we not doing it?
Go ahead,
If
Scott.
I could just add, the reason we started doing that was we had under appropriated in 1 year. We got to the end of the year, we had the extra money. And it really doesn't really matter how you do it. It's a date issue. I mean, July 1 is a new date. So we could have put it off and done it July 1 that next year, but what we did was we just said, well, we've got the money now, and give it to them at the end of the previous year. So even though yes, it is leftovers, it's really not leftovers. I mean, if this year we take that money and just jump it to July 1st, it's the same thing.
Mr.
It's the
Chairman,
same money, so.
I'll make the motion to fund them as they requested.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
John Bradley, a second. We got a motion by Shane Eaton and a second by John Bradley to fund this full amount for,
Send it to budget, let budget work it out.
well, it's going to
Yeah,
budget, okay?
right,
That's
right.
understood.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Rick.
this is a needed thing. We're gonna look at cutting. I'm assuming we're gonna look at reducing some of the other requests. We may not. I would feel more comfortable coming out of this committee at $1,250,000 rather than the full amount. Now, you've got a motion on the floor.
I'll
and that's
rescind that
fine.
motion, go with that. I'll make the motion for Rick's. I'll rescind my motion. You okay with that, John?
Second.
We'll go with that. $1,250,000.
That's reducing them,
Let's give it more than they got last year.
and that's reducing them less than $250,000.
And if budget feels they need.
If
to
they
add to it,
need, if they feel a need, they can come back to the budget committee. But I think that will be a good place to set the mark on this.
Okay, Shane has rescinded his motion and Rick Skillington has made a motion to fund this request at $1,250,000. Do I hear a second for that?
Second.
Shane has seconded that. You got something to say, Chris?
I wanted to say, Philip's words are still kind of ringing in my ears. We're talking about lives here.
Well, that's basically, if we can
Thank you,
fund
Mr.
them,
Chairman.
if we can start this, let budget figure out if they can do the rest. Gives them a place to start.
And there is always, you know, the possibility of adding money if it's needed. So, okay, we've got a motion and a second on the floor to fund Lawrence County Fire and Rescue at $1,250,000. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Hearing none opposed, the ayes have it, and the request is funded at $1,250,000. Okay, the next item on the agenda is FOCA, which stands for, as I recall, the Friends of the Lawrence County Animals. And who have we got over here too?
We have Leanne Pettis.
Leanne Pettis is gonna talk on behalf of FOCA. Before you do, I want to remind the committee that during this past fiscal year, at one of our full commission meetings, we increased their request for spay and neuter by $10,000. So thus the jump to fiscal year 25-26 to $35,000, and that's the same request you're making this year, right?
Yes.
Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone, and thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to speak to you today. You know, as Randy said, I'm here representing Friends of Lawrence County Animals and to respectfully ask the commission to continue funding Lawrence County SNPs at the current level. We are not asking for an increase in funding for this year. I want to make a point that 100% of the county funds go directly to spay and neuter services. No taxpayer dollars are used for administration, for salaries, for overhead. We are an all-volunteer organization, allowing every dollar to go toward preventing unwanted litters. From July 1 last year through May 20th, Lawrence County SNPs provided 502 spay and neuter surgeries for Lawrence County animals. Now, our local vet partner numbers have not come in yet, but that's the number that we have before I walked in here. Those surgeries are expected to prevent thousands of unwanted animals from being born over the next several years. SNPs is a critical part of animal control. It focuses on prevention, addressing the problem before animals even enter the shelter system, or whether they become strays, or require taxpayer-funded care. Every litter prevented today saves the county money tomorrow, and the need remains significant. Spay and neuter costs in Lawrence County average about $175 for a small female dog. For a large female dog, approximately $225 and $125 for a cat spay. And this is before any additional medications or treatment costs are figured in. At the same time, demand for veterinary services continues to exceed local capacity, and surgeries are limited in Lawrence County because veterinarians must also provide routine care for the animals, emergencies, and other medical services. That's why our clinics are so important, our low-cost spay and neuter clinics that FOLCA does. We partner with you, the Lawrence County government, on this program, and also we partner on the shelter project. This year, FOLCA matched the county's investment in SNPs by providing a transport van that allows us to expand clinic partnerships and increase access to affordable services for residents. The van is also used to transport shelter dogs into the Midwest and also the Northeast so that the dogs can have better futures and into homes more quickly, saving everyone, taxpayers, a lot of money. Lawrence County SNPs is a government investment that actually reduces future costs. It helps decrease shelter overcrowding, animal control calls, homeless animals, and animal-related public health concerns while improving the quality of life across Lawrence County. We maintain a separate account dedicated solely to this program, and we're happy to provide financial records to anyone at any time. We appreciate the Commission's past support and respectfully ask you to continue funding Lawrence County SNPs at the current level. Thank you so much for your time, for your partnership, and for your consideration.
Okay, the funding request is $35,000, same as last year, after we made the increase during the year. What is the committee's pleasure?
I move we give them 30,000.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
We got a motion by Rick Skillington and a second by Chris Sutherland
Hey,
to fund $35,000. We got a
no.
comment by,
30.
He said 30.
oh, you said 30?
Yes, sir.
I didn't hear you say that, I'm sorry.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, I'd like to add a little something to that. You know, this is one program here that really, it does a double thing. You know, when you can prevent the animal from hitting the ground, being astray, working its way to the other facility, you are really killing, you know, it's like killing two birds with one stone. So I really think, you know, I'd like to request for y'all to consider that 35,000. I just think it's money well spent, and I'm like her. I just really think it saves Lawrence County money too.
I concur with that, Mr. Chairman. Can I ask a question, Leanne? How much of that 35 did you guys spend every dime of that?
We spent every dime of it, yes.
All right, I was just reading, you know, consulting the internet here, which seems to be the place for all the information. But one female dog's descendants within 3 years can reach anywhere from 67 to 300 more dogs. 67 within 3 years, up to 300 within 6 years. So an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. I'd recommend to the committee, this is what it's worth, just fund their request since they spent every dime over last year.
And if I could just add one more thing, we are thinking very creatively. Of course, we're grant writing to even expand the program, hopefully. We want to focus on pit bulls and trying to decrease because they're very hard to adopt. So a special emphasis on that. We're really working hard 24/7. We have over 20 volunteers working on this program, putting in a lot of time and effort, because it's very important that every dollar that you give us we take advantage of that to the maximum.
Chris, you had something to say, I think?
Well, I was like several other people, I didn't hear 30, I was thinking 35.
Okay, so we don't have a second to the 30. Do I hear a motion to fund the 35?
I'll make the motion.
Shane Eaton makes a motion to fund 35. Second by Chris Sutherland. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
John, did you weigh in on that?
Yes, sir.
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
No.
Okay, we got 3 for it, and 1 against it. The motion passes. 35,000 goes to FOCA.
Thank you.
Okay, down to the senior citizen assistance.
Randy,
Go ahead.
that my ride at the bottom
Yes,
is another typo. That's supposed to be 30,000
it's
instead of
supposed to
25.
go to 30 this year.
Yes,
Okay,
they asked for an increase because of gas prices.
so that brings the total request for senior citizens to 68
Yes, sir.
instead of 63. Now, does the committee wish to consider all of these in one lump, or do we take them down the line one at a time?
One at a time.
All right, Loretta Senior Citizen is first. They were funded at 10,000 last year, and they're making the same request this year. Does anybody hear from Loretta Senior? Excuse me one second, Travis, you got a comment?
But just in case Mr. McDowell leaves, I thought of a question. Can I ask him real quick before we move forward?
I grant you that right.
Thanks, sir. The funding that we added in the previous year, maybe the previous 2 years, one of the biggest questions was, you were having trouble getting volunteers because they were spending their time fundraising and all that
Right.
stuff. Have you seen an increase in those volunteers yet, or?
Definitely, and the only thing we've saw is with inflation this last year, they started back fundraising again just to get up. Because when we asked a few years back when y'all gave us the biggest increase, we asked, the bare minimum is X number of dollars per department, and we haven't changed that from this inflation. But yes, sir, we're definitely seeing to get it back.
My apologies, I appreciate it.
It's okay, Travis. Thank you, Tyler.
Thank you.
Now, from Loretta Senior Citizens, tell us who you are, and
Hi,
you
I'm
can tell us what you
Dee
need.
Couch, I'm president down at Loretto Senior Center, and been there since January of '24, and we have seen a whole lot of change and growth down there. First and foremost, I want to thank you that you gave us the 10,000 last year, because that really helped, and we are requesting the same amount this year. I just want to give you a few little tidbits of what's going on down there. Our insurance for our building had been severely underinsured, and so we had a tremendous increase, going from about 2,088 a year up to 47. Am I saying thousand? 2,088 to 4,779, so $5,000. And so that 10,000 that we had asked for, not knowing that was gonna happen, half of that did go there, so we thank you very much that you had given us that. In '24, we had 22 members on the books. At the end of '24, we had 110. And then at the end of '25, we had 102, because, there is a turnover of people who think they're coming and they end up moving or this or that. We actually have had a turnover of 28 during that time, and we have replaced that and increased so that now today we're at 118. So we are continually growing and moving, and our income sources are dependent totally on our rental income. We rent the building out as much as possible, and doing it at $125 for a weekend day. If we are fully rented for an entire month, which is rare, except during the season, you know what season that is, we would bring in about $1,000 for our income. To keep the lights on there, and when I say that, I'm just talking just utilities, internet, phone, pest control, this not including the insurance. Used to run us about $600 a month. This year, it's increased significantly. I think everybody's other utility bills and stuff go up. So we're now looking at $750 to $850 from our beginning data. And that doesn't include supplies like ink and cleaning and programs. So that's the reason that we are asking to at least receive what we received last year. We did get a very large grant and we utilized it. It was $95,000 and we utilized it to sustain the building and enhance toward doing rentals, replacing old appliances, our roof, our floors, everything. So we're ready to rent a whole lot. Unfortunately, with the inflation, people don't think about renting as much as they were, so it does take promotion. And so that is our plan, to continue to promote our rentals and to add, we do fundraisers, a couple of them a year. And we did add an additional one this year so that we can try to meet, because what I'm looking at is probably a break even to maybe 4,000 in the hole at the end of the year. But with what we need, we just work harder, right? And the other thing is that any monies that are not utilized in totality that you fund us are being kept in savings toward not just a rainy day, but an emergency. We borrowed 2 HVAC units. I believe are 15 years, but they might be older than that. And they have begun to need repairs, $500 a year, that, $300 there. So we're saving for replacement for those. So that's pretty much it. We just hope you'll consider that amount for us.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, what's the committee's pleasure?
I'd like to ask this lady a
Please
question.
do.
I understand that some of the senior citizens have some money back in CDs. Does the Loretta senior citizen have any money?
We don't. We have a money market account
Okay.
that is.
But you don't have CDs where you've got?
Not currently, but that is in our meeting coming up in July, that we are going to take part of the money that is now in the money market and put it into CDs and kind of roll those along with our accessible money market.
Would it be can I ask her how much you got? Now, she can tell me it's none of my damn business, and that's fine. I got no
Go right
problem
ahead.
with that. How much you got in the money market?
Currently 17,000.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
All right, what's the committee's pleasure?
Move we give them 10,000.
Second.
We've got a motion by Rick Skillington and a second by Shane Eaton to fund Loretta's senior citizens at $10,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Appropriation passes. Next is St. Joseph senior citizens. Anybody here from St. Joseph? Yes, tell us who you are and what you need. Just for everybody's information, they were funded at $5,000 for the years 23, 24, 24, 25. Went to $6,000 this past year, and this year they're requesting an increase to $8,000 increase. But I got this right. Go ahead.
We did not receive any money last year. It may have been appropriate, but we didn't receive any money. We have been receiving like 5,000, and so it was my fault for last year's. I missed the date, but so
No.
that's why we.
Your money was appropriated. If it wasn't written, that was a mistake on my part, and I can do that. I'll check my records. when I
Okay,
get back to the office.
great, yeah, okay. Well, I would have just asked for the 5 again. It takes about 4,500, all our utilities, expenses. We, you're the main, income for us, and we do have fundraisers. The Swamp John is a big one for us, and we usually make, 1,000 off of that, 2 or 3 times a year. We're asking for 8 because our kitchen needs updating. It hasn't been updated since the 80s. And so we'd like to see some improvements. The members, they're complaining. They want to see, improvements in our kitchen. And so that's where the money would go. And I thank you for thinking about it. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead, Wayne.
I'd like for y'all to consider, normally in the past, the 3 centers other than Lawrenceburg has always been the same amount of contribution. And you can see in prior years, it was 5, 5, and 5, and then of course, years back of that, it was even lower than that. I'd like for y'all to consider making this back equal again and just giving all 3 of those 10. If you can, please.
Okay, Rick?
I'll ask you the same question as I did the other lady. Do you have any money CDs or money market?
We do, I'm thinking we have 6,000 in our
Okay.
CD.
Thank you,
We only
ma'am.
have one, yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, what's the committee's pleasure on this request for $8,000 to St. Joseph Senior Citizen?
I'll make a motion to give it the 10, because we're giving the other two have requested 10, we just gave Loretta 10. Orange County always gets 10 every year, why not? Do like Wayne said, just increase them all to 10. They do great jobs. I've been to them, and the senior citizens in Orange County do what, they get good benefits from these.
Okay, Shane has made a motion to fund them at $10,000. Do I hear a second? John Bradley has seconded Shane's motion. All in favor say aye. Any opposed? $10,000 goes to the St. Joseph Senior Citizen. Okay, next is Summertown Senior Citizens. They received $5,000 23-24 and 24-25, went to $6,000 last year, and this year they're requesting $10,000. Anybody here from Summertown?
I can speak to that.
Scott?
Yeah, last year, I think, Loretta and Lawrenceburg were both funded at 10, and Summertown was funded at 6. I do have some stats here. We'll pass those around. This is just the counts that South Central Human Resources gave me on meals that each of the senior sites provide each year. This is, I think, from November or December of 24 to November of 25. But the congregate meals are the ones that are eaten on site. The other ones, of course, are home delivery. So that just gives you some numbers as to, I think there's about 34,000 total across the county. But Summertown does not have any money in CDs. They do not own their building. They rent their building, and I think there's about $4,500 probably in the checking account right now. So
I've been up there a time or two I don't even remember now, but those ladies up there bust their hump to get those meals out. And the building is less than ideal for that type of thing. Yeah. So
Okay.
I'll move, we give them 10,000.
Second.
Motion by Rick Skillington, second by Shane Eaton, that we appropriate $10,000 for the Summertown Senior Citizens. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Any opposed? None opposed? The motion passes. $10,000 for Summertown Senior Citizens. Next is Lawrence County Senior Citizens asking for the same amount they've always received, $10,000.
Right here.
Go ahead.
Good morning, thank you. We're just asking for the same amount. It helps with center operations. We do have a lot of activities that go on. Our membership has gone up quite often here lately, especially this year. We've gone from about a little less than 300 to almost 330 members at the senior center there, and of course right behind y'all. So we really rely on donations, fundraising, that kind of thing, and also the county appropriations. So we're just asking for the regular amount of $10,000.
Okay, thank you. Rick?
CDs?
We have a money market that we started a while back, and that was to help pay for our insurance, and we have a little over $5,000 in there right now.
That all?
That's it.
Okay. What is the committee's pleasure?
I'll make the motion to fund it, what they requested.
Motion by Shane Eaton to fund it $10,000. Do I hear a second? Second by Chris Sutherland. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Funded at $10,000. Lawrence County Senior Citizens, now also operated out of Lawrence County Senior Citizens.
I'll stand up again, I should just stay stood, but.
We funded at $25,000
right.
for the past few years, and then this year they're asking for $30,000.
So back in 2018, the My Ride program started, and it was based on a grant that was given to us through the Davidson County. And it was several different ones that received that. When that grant had finished, we wanted to continue the program because we had about 50 members that we were getting them to their appointments within Lawrence County. We've been approved for the $25,000 for several years now. The reason why we're asking for an increase is because the price of gas right now. We have two volunteers that ask for gas reimbursement, mileage reimbursement. And the My Ride program provides 27 cents per mile, and we'd like to raise that to 35 cents a mile because of the price of gas. And like I said, it's just two volunteers that asked for that, so that's the reason why we're asking for the increase.
Okay, anything else?
That's it.
Mr. Chairman, may I ask her a few questions?
Go ahead, Tim.
How many drivers do you have?
Right now, we have about 10.
How many riders do you have?
We have about 42.
How many rides do you have a week average?
Oh my gosh. I know that per month, one of our volunteer drivers that asks for the reimbursement, she does about 1,000 to 1,500 miles a month.
I've drove for this program. I know what it does. And it's very valuable for the seniors. This is strictly within Lawrence County. You take them to the grocery store, doctor's appointments, beauty appointments. This is a worthwhile for the seniors, 60 years and older. I wish you would respect their request.
And we have found out in the past too that I know that the government will kind of match, or I know they give up to 72 cents a mile, I think, yeah. I believe. And the My Ride program only gives 27 cents. And unless you're doing an itemized tax form, 1040, where they do the itemized, they won't receive the difference. And a lot of our seniors, especially the volunteers, they're on limited income as well, fixed income, so they don't itemize. They don't have anything that they can itemize to get the difference. So we're trying to increase the amount that we're giving back to them just to help, because they have to pay for gas, they have to pay for maintenance on their vehicles. And like I said, the one lady that she gets about a $300 check or more every month from us. And I'd like to increase that for her so that she's able to keep up the gas and the maintenance on her vehicle as well. So that's the reason why we're asking for the
All right. What is the committee's pleasure on this request for $30,000 for My Ride?
I'll make the motion.
Shane Eaton has made the motion to approve it for $30,000. Do I hear a second? John Bradley has seconded the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
I've got 3 ayes and 1 no. The motion passes. $30,000 for the My Ride program. And that's going to bring the total appropriation for the 5 requests from senior citizens to $70,000. We started with 63. Okay, moving on. Well, yeah, but I added that.
No, I said 63, I have them do it.
All right, over to the second page. The Lawrence County Reserve Deputies Association has received $2,500 in the past, increased to $5,000 last year, and this fiscal year request is the same, $5,000. Anybody here to speak on behalf of?
Yes.
Go ahead.
I'm Wade Barnett. I'm the president of the Senior Deputy Reserve Deputy Association. We're not asking for any increase. In fact, the commission offered us an increase their own volition. The $5,000 that we do get from the commission, we use that specifically for training costs. It costs us about $2,000 a year. Basic training costs when we bring in new reserve deputies. We're slotted for 20. Each deputy has to meet the same in-service training every year. Plus, when we bring in new deputies, they have an increased number of hours that they have to cover. So we spend about $2,000 a year on that. The remainder of it, we earmark it specifically for weapons and vests, protective vests. So we've always got that money there. The vests particularly have to be replaced every few years. Weapons, we purchase the weapons for our deputies now so that everybody's carrying a standardized weapon. We always keep that, we keep the county's money strictly allotted for that, not asking for any increase. $5,000 allows us to do that. We have other fundraisers for additional equipment and things, but those are the primary things we spend the money.
Okay, thank you.
Happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions? What will the committee do on this $5,000 request for Lawrence County Reserve Deputy?
I make a motion to fund them at the request. I think this program does well. It helps give the sheriff's department extra people when they need it. They do security for their organizations as well. So I think we'll do it.
Motion by Shane Eaton to fund the $5,000. Do I hear a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Rick Skillington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Poor Rick. Let's squeeze some blood from a term over here.
Well done, Rick, well done, well done.
Y'all look at the increase, look at the bottom line, what they're asking, everybody. It's unfreaking
Well,
believable.
does that mean they're unworthy because they're
No.
asking for more? Okay, then, come on. Kids Place is asking for $30,000.
It's tax dollars. I gotta have a drink of water.
Asking for $30,000, which is the same they've received for the last 2 years. Anybody here from the Kids Place that want to address this request?
They called and said that the majority of their staff was on vacation and the, Charleston had a family emergency, so she's not.
Okay. All right, so, do we wait for Skillington to get back?
They may not come back.
Should we just put everything on this
Okay.
Should we just put everything on this
They have to send the,
Okay, we've got the $30,000 request from the Kids Place, same amount of money they've received for the past 2 years. What does the committee want to do?
Mr. Chairman,
Chris?
it doesn't look like they did anything and, well, they went to 30 in 24, 25. They were quit. And in 25, 26, it looks like they got 30. I think we just leave it the same for 26, 27.
That's what they're asking for. So do I hear a motion to do that? Is that a nod over there, John?
Yes.
John Bradley's making the motion. Do I hear a second?
So I'll second it. Nobody else.
Chris makes a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed?
Pass.
Can I speak to,
Go ahead, David.
all right. Kids Place helps children that have been sexually molested in our community. This money, this $30,000 doesn't quite pay the salary of the family advocate and community advocate, the person that goes into our schools and teaches children what sexual abuse is. A lot of children have grown up in that. They've been groomed by the people who are supposed to care for them and love them. And they are being abused, and a lot of times they don't even realize it. This money directly right here, as a former board chairman, I can speak to this. The money that is received in this from the county helps pay that advocate that goes into our schools and teaches these children. Now, Kids Place is a nonprofit organization that also receives federal grants. to pay all their counselors and things of that nature. This is a highly professional organization. Everybody there that does counseling courses, master's degree level educated. Before there were CACs, which started in 1995, where did children go? Who did they go talk to? Did they talk to a police officer? Did they go to the sheriff's department? No, these things were just hidden away, and children were living through this abuse. They have made astronomical waves in helping children. And what happens is, once we discover one that's been hurt, for the rest of their childhood, they receive counseling services from Kids Place. Now, if Kids Place did not exist, then there would have to be positions funded at the sheriff's department to help manage these things, at the local police department, various other things, but it would not be near as effective as this organization. So I would highly recommend, since we've already funded them for the last several years at this level, that we consider and continue that funding as we move forward. That's my recommendation to this committee.
Thank you, David. I want to add my 2 cents to what David just said. I supported 100%. It's my understanding that as chairman of the committee, I can't vote or make motions unless I'm breaking a tie. So I will say that my wife and I put our money where our mouth is. We contribute to this organization, and it's most worthwhile. And I want to urge the committee to vote in favor of it. We have a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. You have your $30,000 Kids Place. Next is the shelter. Also asking for the same amount of funding as they received the last 2 years, which is $15,000. Anybody here from the shelter that wants to speak? Anybody? Hearing none, it's up to the committee then to decide what to do.
Move to give them $10,000.
Motion on the floor to fund the shelter at $10,000. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Shane Eaton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? $10,000 to the shelter. Next is the Center of Hope, who've received no funding the past 2 years. 3 years ago, $5,000. This year, they're asking for $10,000. Anybody here from the Center of Hope?
Make a motion not to give them anything.
What is the Center of Hope?
It is another nonprofit organization. When the shelter lost their grant several years ago, this is the organization that picked up that grant. They don't even have an office in Lawrence County anymore.
They're what now?
They don't have an office in Lawrence County any longer. Their office is in Murray County, from what I understand.
Yep, that's what their paperwork says.
And they do satellite work. If they do, it's hard to substantiate what they
Okay.
actually do. The shelter handles everything here.
All right. Shane Eaton has made the motion to deny this $10,000 request. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I thought Rick might second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That request is turned down. Next is decisions, choices, and options. Have never been funded before in the last 2 years at least, and they're asking for $2,500 this year. Anybody here from that organization that wishes to support this request? I'm not seeing anybody. What does the committee want to do?
Bad decision decided and chose.
Do I? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
I move we fund them at zero.
Second.
That's a popular, that's your most popular motion yet, Rick. We got a motion by Rick, and the first second came out of Shane's mouth. So we got a motion by Rick and a second by Shane Eaton to turn down this request. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? That request is turned down. Next is the Sandcastle Library. Isn't that in Summertown Library? Scott, what do you know about that? Anybody here from Sandcastle other?
I don't know if anyone's here. Yeah, that's the small library up there that, is fully volunteer staffed. Sandy Curtis started that probably 10, 12 years ago. She passed away. They were closed a little bit during COVID. They finally got it reopened and a new board in place now. And, the 5,000 essentially just goes to pay for utilities and upkeep on the building, so.
Make a motion to fund them.
We got a motion by Shane Eaton to fund Sandcastle Library at $5,000. Do I hear a second? Nobody willing to second that motion. It fails for lack of a second.
Fund them at 2,500.
We got a motion to fund at 2,500 from Rick Skillington. Do I hear a second to that motion?
I'll second it.
Second by Shane Eaton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
No.
We've got 3 in favor and 1 opposed, so they're funded at $2,500. Next is God's Storehouse, asking for a rather substantial increase to $25,000, having received $5,000 in the past. Now, did we not fund God's Storehouse, a rather large appropriation to purchase a cooler? So, is anybody here from God's Storehouse that wants to speak?
I was gonna say, I think the cooler, we ended up getting a grant to pay for that.
We paid for a portion of it with a grant, but we paid that out of the county budget. We didn't give that money to God's Storehouse.
Okay.
We paid for the purchase of the cooler with a grant, and then the installation was paid for with the county funds.
Okay. So, we've got a request for $25,000, but, I don't have any details on that unless it's in the packet, which I have not studied.
Sounds like they're trying to renovate their existing space, is what they're trying to, they wanna do.
Hey, Danny.
Hey.
Come on in here.
No, we do, Mr. Chairman, if you don't mind, I'd like to.
Go ahead, Philip.
I've helped a little bit with this and plan on going to help them Saturday to hand out the food that they appropriated to give away. It's an amazing program that they do. If they're renovating the building they're in, that is our building. So we're paying upkeep on our building.
Is that the one on Frank Street?
That's the one on Frank Street.
Okay.
That's the old
Former ambulance
aircraft.
service.
Yeah. So I have reservations, and I've been sitting over here biting my tongue. I have no problem with any of the charitable organizations that we're talking about here at all. I can promise you a lot of these the kids' place I do, the Derby every year, Think the World of Joe Chapman. Though, and the shelter too. But anyhow, we're talking about taxpayers' money that we're picking the charity to give to out of the money we force them to pay. I see a problem with that.
Amen, bro.
If I see a charity that I believe is very good for the county, and there's a lot of these there, I support them. We're forcing people to give us their property tax money and then deciding where they should be giving it to, what their beliefs are, what their feelings are. I've always had an issue with this, always. So I worry about me making the decision morally where their money would go to a charity contribution. Our church is gonna start to come asking for charitable contributions. I give to my church weekly. I have an issue with how we do this. I think that's why you see the difference in the budget committee's decisions and the charitable contributions committee's decisions, just to address them. This is a great thing. How, God's Storehouse specifically, how I have to look at God's Storehouse is if He is fixing our facility with the money we are giving Him, we were spending it in the right way. That's really what I wanted to say. When that come up, I couldn't hold it anymore. So that's, if he is renovating, I wish he was here to tell us exactly what he was doing with it.
Well, he explains how the funds will be used right here in the
Does he?
application.
Okay, I hadn't flipped.
I mean, that's what it says in there, he says expanding, but here's what
No, it doesn't say the facility. It says funds will be used to expand our current programs, purchase food and hygiene items, or host more mobile pantries, $2,500 each, or expand our facility
There you go.
for better use.
Expand our
Now,
facility.
last year, we gave them money for the facility, and Randy, did we not appropriate that money through maintenance, am I
We
right?
did.
Through the maintenance's budget, remember there was so that's how we did it,
Cooler.
that's how we did it last year, so.
Why not we do it this, if it's county building, why are we not doing it through that anyway?
Well, that's what we ended up doing last year, so, he just hasn't separated that out. I don't know how much of this 25,000 is building and how much is programming. So that's a question, be great for him to be here to answer.
Mr. Chairman, wouldn't it be better for us, in my opinion, and y'all all know that I'm tight as I can be when it comes to spending tax dollars, to give them the $5,000, and then if they need 20,000, come directly to the budget committee through the building and maintenance committee to get their money. And in saying that, I'll move we give them $5,000.
I'll second that.
We've got a motion on the floor to fund God's Storehouse at $5,000. Motion by Rick Skillington, second by Shane Eaton. All in favor say aye. All right. Philip, while I agree with what you said for the most part, there's another edge to the coin, and we've got what this nonprofit program represents is a public-private partnership. You've got private entities out there that are nonprofits that are performing services that might otherwise have to be performed by the county government, and this is a very inexpensive way, relatively speaking, to fund those services. So, you know, there's two sides to the coin, and I understand what you're saying perfectly. And Rick Skillington, I even understand what you say when you say you're tight as whatever phrase you use. So anyway,
I would like to say one other thing, not as a debate to you in any way.
Sure.
But what I said about this coming Saturday morning, y'all, anybody that can get away Saturday morning, go up there to Faith Church and help them load that food. You'll be blessed in more ways than you'll ever imagine, just by the smiles on the people's faces whenever you load 2 buggies full of food.
Sure.
So y'all come up there if you want to see something good.
It's a great program. There's no doubt about it. I helped start it a long time ago. Well, I'm old. Next is Buffalo River Services. They have asked, they got 5,000 3 years ago, skipped a year and got 5,000 last year. This year they're asking for 10,000.
This group traditionally asks for $10,000. This committee has traditionally given $5,000 a year that they did not receive any funding. Was they did not turn any paperwork in, and I moved we didn't give them anything. At this time, I moved we give them $5,000.
Okay, anybody here from Buffalo River? I don't see anybody. We got a motion to fund $5,000 to Buffalo River Services. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Shane Eaton is seconded the motion. Let's have a vote. All in favor? Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, this service is funded at $5,000. Next, we have a series of requests that have never received funding in the past, starting with the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 146, asking for $4,000. Is there anybody here to support that request from American Legion Auxiliary 146?
Mr. Chair, is that not what, I believe that there is what they got last year, wasn't it?
No, they didn't.
They've never asked for
They never got money.
The auxiliary unit has never asked for anything. Now, the post 146 right below it, there was supposed to be $4,000 in that 24-25 line. We have funded them one time.
Yes.
Is that the post down on the highway?
Yes, yes.
Approaching
But the
Loretta?
auxiliary unit has never asked for funding.
Okay.
So is this what's up now? Is it for the auxiliary or?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh, how much they asking for?
4,000.
Okay.
So the list is growing.
Barry.
That's what you get into.
You.
Yeah, I mean, I know
I think this auxiliary is, they send kids to a state program every year, and I think that may be what some of this is about. I was trying to read it.
That's what it said, 500 person.
They send I think it's a girls' state civic program they do, and I feel like that's what probably that request is for, to try to fund some of those kids going to the state program.
But now, some of the other stuff that they have listed is purchase Christmas angels, angel trees, winter coats, Christmas gift bags,
They do a lot.
Girl Scouts.
I understand, but I mean,
I'm sorry, that's Girl State.
So,
Mr. Chairman.
Chris?
Well, Philip, I can't be quiet right now. If these are ones that we have not contributed to before, why do we want to add to our list? And fund these things? I'm stealing some of Skillington's thunder here, I guess. I don't know. I'll have to pay him back after a while.
Well, that's for the committee to decide, Chris. So, do I hear a motion in regard to the $4,000 request from the American Legion Auxiliary Unit 146?
I move we do not fund this request.
Rick Skillington makes a motion to deny funding. Do I hear a second? Motion on the floor. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Chris has seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
I only heard one aye. We need more than one vote.
Got two.
We got two ayes. All in favor say no. All against it say no.
No.
No. Okay, so we've got a 2-2 tie. I get to break the tie. I get to vote, yay! I say no. No funding.
Mr.
For
Chairman,
the auxiliary unit.
can I,
Denny, go ahead.
I got here a little late. I run into a friend outside and he followed me all the way in the door. But Mr. Heatherly, I got here late, but I understood that he has the same opinion that I do about your tax dollars. I'm not up here to give away your tax dollars. But you come see me, I don't care what organization it is, you come see me and I'll donate to your organization. But that's where it's supposed to come from, the heart, not out of the tax dollars. If we keep on, we're gonna, if we're gonna fund a few, then let's just fund them all. Be done with it. If you think we can afford that, I'll vote against it, but.
Well, this nonprofit program has gone on ever since I've been on the commission for 8 years, and we've never got to the point of just, the commission can decide to not fund any nonprofit requests and say, we're just not gonna do that anymore. So that's up to the commission, but right now, we've got a program to fund nonprofit requests, and we're taking them under consideration one by one. So let's move on to the next one.
Now, back up, so I understand. You voted no on the motions.
No, he voted for no funding.
No, you voted for no funding for them.
I did.
Okay,
I
all right.
broke the tie. There was a 2-2 tie and I broke it.
All right, I just wanted to make sure.
All right.
Sir.
Next is the American Legion Post 146. Excuse me, no. Is anybody here from American Legion Post 146 to express their need for a $15,000 request? Did you say, Brandy, we've funded them before? It's not on the list.
Yeah, I forgot to put it on the list. In 24-25, I believe, we funded them $4,000.
$4,000. Okay.
well, Mr. Chairman, if there's not nobody here to represent them, I'd like for them to at least be considered again, at least before.
Well, I'm a member of 146.
I'll make a motion to fund it for
Okay, Shane Eaton has made the motion to fund the, post 146 for $4,000. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that because one of the things that they're doing is, trying to help with the honor guard, at the funerals of the veterans.
Okay.
That's,
Okay, I've got a motion by Shane Eaton and a second by Rick Skillington to fund American Legion Post 146 at $4,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. $4,000 for American Legion Post 146. Next on the list is the Jubilee Trading Company. Never funded before according to the summary that Brandon provided, but this year asking for $6,240. Is anybody here from the Jubilee Trading Company? Yes.
Hi.
Tell us who you are and what
I'm
you
Stephanie
need.
Edwards, and we are new to the committee, so I want to introduce us, what we do. So we do a lot of things as a nonprofit, and hopefully a lot of you know us by our store just a couple blocks away at this point. If you don't, please come see us. But our mission is to create life-transforming employment. This is done through employing people to make beautiful things that then we sell at our store, mostly online though. We make home decor items, leather bags, candles, things like that. So we're employing people making an item that somebody else wants to buy. We have been quietly serving our community since 2023, offering a job skills training program. This is a transitional employment opportunity for women in the care of local agencies to help them get back on their feet. Our primary partnership is with the shelter. Since October of 2023, we've continually employed at least one woman at a time from the shelter, if not two simultaneously at some points. Under the recommendation of the shelter, we employ these ladies at 10 to 12 hours a week with a flexible opportunity, so that way they can still manage court dates, therapy dates. There's just so many things that they're dealing with whenever they're so fresh from their domestic abuse situation. So this is also a good placement because we're in working hours while their kids are in school. Most of these ladies do have kids. They don't have a support system. That's how they ended up at the shelter in the first place. And so we are a unique job opportunity because of that. Our job training program helps these ladies to get used to leaving the house every day, actually showing up to work on time, being held accountable, to doing a good job. A lot of things that we take for granted as people who have had more stable lives. Some of these ladies, the stories that they have, y'all have all been familiar with the shelter. They're just coming from such terrible circumstances and need a second chance. So we commit to 1 year of employment for each woman. So it's a skills training program. So 12 months. And over the course of this, yes, we're like working on expectations, how to present yourself, but then we also help them find a long-term, full-time placement that suits their lifestyle or their current life situation. So at Jubilee, these ladies prepare products that we sell, making candles, cleaning metal art that we make, tagging products that come in from other partnerships. And 75% of our nonprofit budget comes from these products that we sell. And so we've got that nice stability there. We are asking for the county to support us through funding so that we can expand this specific service in our specific community. Right now, we're only able to employ one of these ladies at a time for the most part. Whenever we double up, that's during like holiday rush, because we have to stay in proportion to what our product sales are. And that means that we have to turn down a lot of requests from the shelter for ladies that do need a job placement. 2 weeks ago, Brittany Evans called me and she said she had a mom that got a job, but it's going to be 2 weeks before her next paycheck, and she just needs something for 2 weeks while she waits on this to sort out so she can afford gas to get to her new job. And we had to turn it down because this is our slow season. Summer is tight for us, and we couldn't do just a 2-week placement with a lady that had already tried and was doing the right things. She just needed something, and she wanted to work. She didn't want a handout. She wanted, okay, how can I make ends meet? And so that's what our focus is employment, solving problems. So we hope that Jubilee can become a go-to resource for women in these circumstances. And we're in that difficult moment of, we've got something that's working, we've got a program, we've got partnerships, but we haven't built up our sales enough to where we can always be that person that organization the shelter comes to. So this benefits the county by helping get a stable workforce. So a lot of these ladies, whenever they leave the shelter, go straight into government housing, they're on food stamps. We are not obviously going to be a job that offsets that, but we're helping them get there. So we're that next step. So with our program, we're helping to create a better, stable workforce for these ladies who are coming out of these circumstances. So we hope that the county would fund just this program at its current state, so that way we can then take it to the next level from there. Do you have any questions on that?
Any questions? Travis got a question down there.
Stephanie, correct?
Yes.
On the application, line 12, it says, how many paid staff members do you have? You have 2 full-time, 3 part-time. You talked about that a little bit. Very next line, it says, if you have paid staff members, a detailed salary schedule must be attached, and I don't see one.
I just printed out the application
Okay.
for you guys, so your packet wasn't this thick.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
I have that if you want me to rattle it off.
I'm good. I just want to make
Okay.
sure it wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we got it.
As long as you're willing to provide it.
Any other questions? What's the committee's pleasure? Anybody willing to make a motion to fund $6,240 for the Jubilee Trading Company? Hearing no motion, the request fails for lack of a motion.
Thank you.
Sorry. Moving on. Next is Limitless, Lawrence County, Tennessee.
I can address that.
Go ahead, Rick.
Limitless is the group that was, oh, and by the way, I recuse myself from voting on this particular item. Limitless is the group of special needs that when the state special needs or state Special Olympics went for promotion of alternative lifestyles and promotion of people to be involved in Special Olympics that we felt like probably was not the type folks that our special needs athletes needed to be involved with. We've severed our ties with state Special Olympics. This group still wanted to meet, still wanted to do some things for these special needs adults and children. They do a program of some type about every other month, and we've basically been funding that out of our own pockets. And they asked me, and I said, fill out an application, run it through the committee. If anybody's got any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer those.
Any comments? Do I hear a motion on the $1,000 request from Limitless, Lawrence County?
I'll make the motion.
Shane Eaton makes the motion, we fund the $1,000. Do I hear a second? Got a second from Chris Sutherland. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
How you voting over there, John?
Aye.
Aye. Chris, okay, you made the motion. Okay, you got your funding, $1,000.
1,000.
Well, I stopped after realizing I was saying 10, I stopped because it is $1,000. All right, now.
Randy, that progressive directions, you funded that at $10,000 last year too. I'm sorry, y'all, I looked at this list before I printed it.
Okay. So progressive directions was funded at $10,000, so anybody here from progressive directions?
I can address that also.
Let's hear about it.
This is a program that is very similar to Buffalo River. It is the old Impact that was in Columbia for years, serviced several counties here in southern Middle Tennessee. These two joined together with a group at Montgomery County, Clarksville. Once again, they're an organization that provides services for adults with special needs. Once again, I will recluse myself from voting on this particular issue. My wife currently serves as the chairman of the board of this group. They service, and I didn't get the exact number, but 25 to 30 special needs adults. My daughter has a caregiver that comes out, gets her 3 days a week, carries her out in the community. At one time, these groups used to do small jobs for companies like bagging bolts and nuts and screws to go into these local companies, stuff that they were manufacturing. Since we've lost all them companies, they've gone more to community-based programs where they have them out in the community. They go to the library every other week and do coloring at the library. They do independent living type activities all in the county.
Okay, so we did fund this program according to Brandy last year, Brandy, excuse me. Can't pronounce your name this morning. $10,000 last year, and the request is for another $10,000 this year. Do I hear what the committee wants to do? Chris Sutherland makes the motion that we fund.
I'll second.
Second by Shane Eaton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
John, you in over there?
Yes, sir.
We got 3 votes in favor. It's $10,000 for progressive direction. And last on this list on page 2 is the Star Center. Anybody here from the Star Center? Tell us what their application says.
It's just a letter in your packet, there's no application.
You looking at it, Scott?
Yeah.
It's a request for $500, and they've never been funded before.
Apparently they're based out of Jackson, Tennessee. Says they provide services to West Tennessee, and then their, I guess, assistive technology department serves all 95 counties in Tennessee. Assistive technology, employment services, in-home companion care, vision services, a reading clinic, art, music, speech therapy for individuals with disabilities to live, work, and thrive.
I've never heard of it.
I haven't either.
I'll make the motion tonight at this time.
Got a motion by Shane Eaton to turn down this request. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Rick Skillington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. This request is turned down. Okay, that concludes the list of,
You've got the county executives discretionary.
oh, excuse me, I thought that was a total down there. Okay, for the last few years, we have funded the county executive discretionary fund for $20,000, and we've got the same request this year. What's the committee's pleasure, Doug?
Times are hard, I move we give you 15.
Got a motion on the floor to give the county executive 15,000 discretionary. Do I hear a second?
I'll second that.
Second by Shane E. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Did you aye it down there? We got three votes. Chris, you want to go on the record?
No.
Chris votes no. 3-1 in favor of a $15,000 appropriation for the county executive's discretionary fund. So there was a considerable amount of cutting on that page. I was adding it up in my head, but I stopped. But we cut a lot of money out, right? Right, so let's go to the last page.
That total was 87.5. What you
87.5.
contributed.
It's 87.5 on the line where we previously had,
Well, it should have been 95 because there was 10,000.
right. And so what was did you total up what we just approved on?
87.5.
87.5, okay, so the amount of requests was 159,240. So that's a substantial reduction in what was requested. Okay, moving on to page 3. We're into tourism. This group of 6 requests under the tourism heading. We'll start with the city of Lawrenceburg. They've received $4,000 over the past few years, and they have upped that request to $15,000 this year.
This is for the 4th of July fireworks. A lot of fireworks.
Sure is.
Brady, how much is our, I guess, hotel motel tax?
I
No,
believe it's like 280,000.
that's what's funding out this tourism comes out of that, right?
That and then the industrial development board.
Right.
Randy, this list here, you prepared for the budget committee, correct?
No, that's the joint economic development board's request. It's the
Right, I
last
understand that, but this is for the
one. The chamber.
perusal of the budget committee, right? That's,
Well, this committee's gotta approve it as well, because it's a tourism and joint economic development board.
okay, so,
And the chamber and Main Street's, contributions are lumped into that as well. For a total of 401,740.
what I'm getting at is so this was approved by the joint board, the joint economic community, the countywide joint economic community development board, right?
That's Ryan's request that he submitted, yes.
Oh, okay, but it was approved, right?
Not that I know
It's-
of.
It's for us to consider
Yes.
whether or not to approve, okay.
It was approved by the joint board in April.
That's what I'm saying, that's what I'm asking.
For them, not by the commission or anything. Yeah.
Okay. Well, the reason I'm bringing this up is does our committee or the budget committee have to rule or approve what the joint economic community development, the state mandated joint community and economic development board approves?
You've gotta approve it too, because you're the joint economic development, nonprofit and tourism committee. So this committee's gotta approve it.
Okay.
I hope we do, that's our job. If not, then we don't have a job.
Right, so, would it not make sense, this is what I'm getting at. Would it not make sense to bring this up first and consider letting the $250,000 that goes to the Chamber of Commerce for tourism development fund these separate requests?
It's 150 from the county. The other portion of that. This is the total. This is what they're asking for from the county for economic development. On the second page, that's the 241. On the second page, they're asking for Lawrence County to contribute $150,000 to the chamber. For tourism. And then on the second, also on the second page, they're asking for Lawrence County to contribute $10,000 to Main Street for tourism as well. So the total is $401,740
From Lawrence County.
from Lawrence County. That's what they're asking for.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
is this the same bunch that approved the data center?
I don't know if they approved it or not.
I think, the request that's gonna be coming, that they're asking from is from our hotel motel tax dollars and stuff that helps fund this tourism. So I think each one will have to be run through the nonprofit, then through the budget, and then they will prepare it for us to vote on as a whole budget. I mean, that's the way we have done it in the past.
Okay. So, again, the reason why I started this conversation is because we have these separate tourism requests on this list from City of Lawrenceburg, Lawrence County Historical Society, Council of Community Clubs, Hope Botanical Garden, which they didn't get their request in, so they're out. Loretta Lift Up and West Gaines School. So what I'm wondering is whether or not these individual requests might not be lumped into the overall request from the Chamber of Commerce to fund tourism. And that they take if we approve their tourism money, that they take that big lump sum of tourism money to fund these, that we ask them to fund these individual.
Actually, the tourism money that's been requested should be added to here. I mean, it's all under tourism, I would think.
That I'm sort of agreeing with that.
I think we just need to add that to the tourism line.
The $250,000 that was approved April 6th on the separate packet. Is that what you're talking about?
Well, when it says approved, that was approved by
their
committee,
not us. Yep, I agree. But this is the $250,000 you're saying needs added to the 400 or 43?
Yeah, the 175 and the 45.
Yes.
Should just be added in over here under tourism, I would think. I'm not on that committee, but that makes more sense to me.
I see
Put it
where
all
you're
under
going.
one.
Instead of having it under industrial development.
Right. And then consider the industrial development separately.
And they do kind of break down, you've seen this other paper that he gave,
Yes.
they break it down a little bit.
So what they approved on April the 6th was to request this money from the county.
Right.
Okay, all right, now I'm.
But what was approved on April 6th is not entirely county money, right? Brandy, that's.
Right.
Right.
This
That's
is shared.
city and county included.
This is shared by the city and the other municipalities, so forth. Okay.
It shows on that report, it's broken out by who is contributing, if you look at.
Yeah, so under tourism is only 160 for the county, then 150 on the tourism development and 10 on the Main Street. The rest comes from the city of Lawrenceburg.
Okay.
Clear as mud.
I can see my fingers.
Now, we going by this line by line?
That's what I assumed that we would do until I got to thinking, why not? This is all tourism, according to the request, that we asked the chamber to fund it with the large amount of tourism money that they're being.
Or we could just cut the chamber 401 and then we could fund the rest of it.
Hey, Mr. Chairman, well, what would security we would have that from the chamber that they would fund those? You know, if we go ahead and add that money in there, then under their discretion, that it would be whether they want to give them that money. So, I just kinda got a little problem with that. I mean, I kinda think if we want to give them something, we already give it with, with our approval and not pass it on and let their board make a decision whether they're gonna give each group their money.
I agree with you wholeheartedly.
Now, I believe Shane moved to London Hall except for.
I have not made it. We might, we'll see.
Okay, and then down here under industrial development, we've got a request to fund the joint economic board. But they've already passed on what they want to do with money that apparently we haven't granted them yet. Is that correct, or am I crazy?
I don't know, I was not at that meeting, and it was not.
Well, that's what they're asking for though, right? That's just like,
Yeah,
that's just like a board, that's just like a board of one of the nonprofits having a meeting and say, hey, we need to request
Yeah.
That's like them showing you their
$401,740 or, yeah. That's their request. We have to decide whether we give it or not.
Okay, so, why don't we take up that request first? That large sum of money. Do I hear a motion to, let's go down to the industrial development line item, where the joint board is requesting $401,740.
I don't understand where the 401 comes from, because when you look at here, that's not on what they approved.
It's all of Lawrence County.
241.
This number and this number.
Okay. So it's the 241 for Lawrence County on the first page, the 150 and the 10 on the second page. That's what-
Has everybody got that? Everybody understand that? So let's take up that request first. What does the committee want to do with that request? It breaks down to $241,000 for economic, economic development, $150,000 for tourism, and $10,000 for Main Street, for a total of $401,740.
Well, I gotta tell you right up front, I will not vote for it because I don't want to give a dime to Main Street.
I'll make a motion to deny the entire $401,700.
I'll second that motion.
We've got a motion to deny the request of the joint board for $401,740. Motion and a second is on the floor. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? It's turned down. Now we can take up these, separate requests. City of Lawrenceburg wants $15,000. I said it was for fireworks on their
That's what it
application.
said on the application.
I think you're gonna actually have them on the floor.
They are this.
That's the reason it costs more.
At the 250th birthday, they get to make it bigger.
Yeah, it's supposed to be half. I just don't know.
Mr. Chairman, I move we give them 7,500.
We've got a motion on the floor to fund $7,500 to the city of Lawrenceburg under tourism development. But it looks like it's for fireworks, so here's a second. I guess tourists come watch those fireworks, don't you guys think? Y'all quit cutting up over there. That's unseemly. Is Do we have a second to Rick's motion to fund $7,500?
Didn't he need lights, fireworks?
I'm not hearing a second. Nobody wants to second that motion? Motion fails for lack of a second. Do I hear a motion to fund anything for the city of Lawrenceburg? Hearing none, funding is denied. Next is the Lawrence County Historical Society. We've been donating $3,000 to them for the past few years, and they've requested $3,000 this year. Anybody here from the Lawrence County Historical Society? I don't see anybody here to support that request. What does the committee want to do?
I spoke to him yesterday, and he said that they are currently renovating the old jail museum. It's like a $34,000 project. It's partially city funded, but that's where, this money will go.
Does that come from the esteemed Curtis Peters?
It does.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to fund it.
Okay, I got a motion to fund that request. John Bradley has seconded it. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Funding is granted. The Historical Society, the Council for Community Clubs, they have received $6,000 for the past few years, and they're asking for the same amount this year.
Make a motion to approve.
Mr. Chairman, there are only 7 active community clubs left in Lawrence County.
Okay.
This was originally set up when there was more, and it was $500 per community club. Since that number has decreased, the money has been going into the councils. The council has not a huge amount of money, but they have some money in a savings account that they're currently not using. The council uses their money to help offset the cost of 4-H club camp. I think they said 4-H club camp costs what, $450 per camper now? And then if there is a disaster, a house burn, major medical expenses in any of those 7 community clubs, those folks are given a little money. Since we only have 7 clubs, I move we fund that. It dropped that to $3,500 and still $500 per club.
Second that motion.
Got a motion to fund Council of Community Clubs for $3,500. Motion by Rick Skillington, second by Shane Eaton. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
John Bradley votes aye, so we've got 3 votes in favor at $3,500.
Should let you spoke. You're vice president of the group. I'm sorry.
I think it's neat that we have set a president of the community club along with the vice president of the council to agree with that. I think that we're gonna cut things and we cut our own things. I think that shows you something. So thank y'all folks. I'm a member, but not a vote.
What was that amount?
$3,500.
Apiece.
Okay, Hope Botanical Gardens didn't get a request in, so next is Loretta Lift Up. They've received $3,000 2 and 3 years ago, $4,000 last year, and they're requesting $4,000 this year. Anybody here from Loretta Lift Up? Thank you.
Yes, I think you got me president of Loretta Lift Up, and it's really scary to be at the end of this list. I sit back here and listen to all this. I do, however, appreciate the email I got this year to tell me about the meeting, because this is the first year I've known about this. So thank you for including me being here. Yes, we received $4,000 last year, and we've requested $4,000 this year. We operate the Loretta History Museum, formerly the Ralph J. Passarella Museum there in Loretta. We've gotten structural grants the last 3 years through Tennessee State Museums, but I think that was a 3-year grant. And we've done some major things. Shane's been down to see us. Several of y'all come to visit and know what we've done. If you just, we have about 500 visitors a year, and we had this last year. We also Lift Up not only takes care of the museum, which we own the building. $4,000 does not cover our utilities. We're up to, I figured it out, $4,124. As Dee Dee said, we got liability insurance, $1,500. You know, we fundraise. We put on Oktoberfest every year. for the community, so we do tourism sorts of things too. We have lots of fundraising events. We work really, really hard. We have no paid staff. We have me and Vicky Boshiers over here that work really, really hard. I don't know what you might want to know. I'm tired, so y'all probably are too. Listen to all y'all work really hard today.
Mr. Chairman, I'd like to say something in there behind.
Go ahead, Wayne.
The Low Rail Lift Up Committee has done a lot of good things, for the city down there. And I think that y'all probably gonna have a project there at the kind of restoring.
We're trying to restore the gazebo in the Weathers Park so that it doesn't, what happened to the Lawrence Furnace gazebo does not happen down there. We're gonna try, and that'll be Loretta Lift Up plus city money to do that, but we'll contribute as much as we can for painting and upkeep on that building. If you've been down to our park, it's kind of the focus of our downtown area.
Yeah, but anyway, I would like for y'all to consider them, a grant there $4,000.
Oh, you can give us 5,000 because you cut all that other money, you know. I'll be really happy with our 4,000.
I know we give them 4,000.
Second. Got a motion by Rick Skillington, second by Shane Eaton to grant $4,000 to Loretta Lift Up. All in favor say aye. Aye. We got ayes, all ayes. I'm hearing no no's. Correct?
Yes, sir.
$4,000 to Loretta Lift Up. And last on the list is the West Gaines School Club. I see James Wallace out there in the hallway. Step up here, James, also known in years gone by as Mississippi.
Hello, everyone. How are y'all
We won't tell
doing today?
anybody why.
How are y'all doing today?
Good, thank you.
I truly thank y'all for this opportunity to come and speak to the committee. As y'all can see and know that we're trying to save the old school building down here that was built back in the 30s. Was the school, the only place that black children went to school up until 1964. When the school was really great. And we're trying to save that building. And I think last year, the committee gave us about $500. But last year, we didn't actually don't get the property till late last year. And we didn't have the property taxes and the insurances and stuff, and we didn't have the roof on the building. If y'all go by and look at that building, we've now got the roof on the building, and that's been through the help of the county and some private entities and our fundraising events. And we're gonna have a fundraising event down there on the 14th up at the school building itself. But we're asking the committee for the money. We need to do a architectural study on the inside of the building so that we can continue with trying to restore the building, bring it back. I don't know if any of y'all have seen any of the slides or presentations that we've had on the vision for the building, but if you would see those and what they look like, you would think, man, it would be great if we could do that. It would be a place that I think that y'all would want to have these kind of meetings at once it's done. So we're asking, and we'll probably be coming back and asking for a while, because the state, if y'all think about the building sit out there for 17 or 18 years, empty, nothing done to it, falling apart. The roof was completely destroyed. And we, through donations, we got a big donation from the Kraft Foundation to help to get the roof on. And the county donated the property to us. So we're making strides. It's not going fast. I don't want anybody to think this is going to be an overnight deal and it's done. But we're making strides, and we need the support of the county as much as we can. So if y'all will consider our request, and Randy, we greatly appreciate it. And we're going to be continuing having fundraisers and events. And we need members, and y'all can be members just as well as I am. So we need the support, and we're asking for it. Let's take that under consideration as you do your budget.
All right, any questions for James? The request is for $15,000 for this fiscal year. And I just
So
wanna
that's gonna
add,
be, oh, sorry, go ahead.
just 1 second, I just wanted to add, my support for this. I mean, this has been ongoing, we've got money in it already, they're attracting donations from other sources, it's gonna happen, okay? It needs to happen. So I would urge the committee to support this. Shane, you had something to say?
Yeah, so you're gonna use this so you can get your drawings ready to
Yeah,
go.
we need that architectural, and we've got some money, but it's, as y'all know, it's gonna take a lot of money. We don't have nowhere near enough money.
No, I agree. I think it's a great project as well. I mean, this is part of Lawrence County history. I'll make the motion to fund it at 15.
Okay, we got a motion by Shane Eaton to fund
Thank
at 15,000. Thank you, James. Do I hear a second?
Second.
I got a second down there from John Bradley, and I've got a comment from David Morgan.
Yeah, I wanna agree, and, I think it's something we need to look at funding. This was a county building, owned building for decades, and it just was not taken care of and kept up to speed. And so, if this money can go toward architectural plans to help it be taken care of and move them forward, I think it's wise to do so. It's money we should have spent on that building over the years that we never spent.
Okay, we got a motion and a second on the floor. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing no opposition, we've got a $15,000 appropriation to the West Gaines Group.
Thank y'all.
And that, thank you, James. And that concludes the list of requests. Randy, is there anything left on this list? Do we get it all covered on this list?
No, but I'm gonna say that hotel motel tax was used to fund that industrial development, the joint board. And that money has to go to tourism or per private act, economic development.
Understand.
Right
Now,
now, you've allocated, 25,000.
Well, can we come back and figure out something else to use it for? As long as it's for tourism,
As
right?
long as it's classified as tourism and economic development.
okay. That leads up to what I was about to say, which is before I entertain a motion to adjourn this committee meeting, I want to remind everybody who, and I said this at the first of the meeting, that's applied for contribution, that the budget committee has to approve this as well, and then, of course, the full commission at a later date. So I just want to remind everybody of that, and, the budget committee has a right to change anything that this committee has just done. So with that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn this committee.
I'll make the motion.
Motion to adjourn, a second from Chris Sutherland, we're adjourned.
Budget committee will convene at 10:30.
I know.
Get a big one.
21 working days.
When I got my